Hello! Welcome to the Woolly Anecdotes podcast. It's very irregular not irregular, but not often. It doesn't happen often. The last episode was December. Clearly a lot has happened since then. Yeah. Anyway. I was going to do a little bit of chat, but I don't know what to chat about, and it'll probably just slip in with my knitting. So I'm going to get started. I think I'm going to do finished objects first, because, and not in, geez, every time. Excuse me. Not in any particular order. This is the Washed Out Shawl by Joji Locatelli. I finished this, I don't know, March maybe? Probably? Let me look. Because, okay, so random. I was planning on maybe filming on my phone, which is what I am doing right now. And I was like, well, I don't want to write anything out. I'll just have all the tabs open on my web browser. I did it on my phone. And I didn't want to redo it, so now I'm just gonna do it on my iPad and have to wait for them to load. So I finished this, mid-February, on Valentine's Day. And I absolutely love it. It is my favorite shawl. It's huge, like, very big. Okay, this is the beginning. The yarn is by Marigold Jen, at least the first two colors, and she is no longer in business, which is sad because this is gorgeous, gorgeous yarn. This is Dreamweaver, and then you fade in Aurora Borealis. So this is all Aurora Borealis. Look at this. Oh my gosh, my favorite is this Dreamweaver color. Part of me is like, oh, I wish most of the shawl was in the Dreamweaver, but it wouldn't have looked good if I had done Aurora Borealis and then Dreamweaver. Anyway, then it goes into Copper Centaur Studios, and Smoky Water, maybe, I think. Oh, I have it right here. Copper Centaur, Smoke on the Water, close. But, so this lace looks super complicated, and it's not at all. Ugh, it's so pretty. Ugh. And if you look close, I don't think my camera's gonna focus on it. I tried to get it to focus earlier, but it didn't work. There's kind of like dark gray blips in the blue. Yeah, you can kind of see it a little bit. Yeah, I love it. It's so long. I think it's ended up being over 6 feet long. And I blocked it to the measurements she had. So look, here's the starting point, and it just keeps going and going and going, still going, and there's the other end. I knit most of it while I was listening to audiobooks. Yeah, so it went really fast once I started doing that. So it's huge. Nope, that's not. I usually wear it like this. I can wrap it around so many times, which is nice in a Michigan winter. Although this winter was pretty mild, honestly. There we go. And I put the lace in the front. Yay! I love it. It's my favorite. Yeah, so. And my last vlog, podcast, whatever you want to call it, I was knitting on 2 advent calendar. Sorry, my hair is like all. What was I saying? 2 advent calendar patterns. And I had these are the 2020 Elderflower Stitches advent. These minis are. And this is the pattern that she wrote specifically for her her calendar and the yarn she dyed. And I finished it. I didn't finish it in January. I finished it end of July, maybe? No, July. Okay, I didn't finish it in December. I finished it the end of January, beginning of February, I think. So it starts, and it's so long. I haven't blocked it either because it's so long. This is over 6 feet on block 2, I think. So there's that. And the lace is just gorgeous. The yarn still smells really good. It's just the same 3 3 sections of lace over and over. It ends up being 6 repeats of each one. Yeah. But yeah, so then it goes into like oranges and like dusky pink and then gray. So yeah, this goes on for a long time, and I'm not sure how much it would grow, honestly, if I blocked it, because I could maybe try to block it a lot this way, and then it would pull it in so it's less long. Maybe. Who knows? And then the other Advent one I finished was the Land of Sweets cowl. The same yarn. I haven't blocked this either. I've just been lazy. I haven't done it. I didn't really wear it. I think I wore it maybe a couple times. But yeah, I like it. So that's those 2. What else? I finished Tory's. I'm going real fast. I finished his 2020 Christmas socks. We didn't finish them for Christmas, so we're just gonna wear them next Christmas. I still haven't done Remy's. Kind of just been putting that off, I suppose. I don't know. Whatever. So, there we go. He did not want contrasting cuffs, which is fine. Probably would have run out of yarn. So I'm like looking that way because that's where I can see myself. There's that. His socks, I do 72 stitches, 20 rows. I think I do 18 to 20 rows of 2x2 ribbing. Then knit for looks like 6 or 6.5 inches, and just a slip stitch heel and a square heel turn. Yeah, with his socks, so a few pairs ago for him, I was knitting it and was like, oh, I am gonna stop at this part, at this spot, and then my train of thought is all over the place right now, and I'll start at the toe. And I was getting to that spot and he tried them on and was like, they're too long. They're gonna be too long if I do that. So I started the toe, and then instead of so I do his toes shorter. So typically, is it, oh, I'm focused, yay, ish, sort of, maybe. For his toe, oh my goodness, for my toes on my socks, I decrease every other round until I get to 32 stitches, and then I decrease every round until I get to 16 stitches, and then Kitchener 8 across. So for him, I just stop at the 32 and Kitchener 16 across. And it works. He loves how they fit. So, yeah. And I use a bigger needle for his than mine, so the gauge is a little looser. Yep, that's those. Yay, coffee. So, Tory won a work basket? No. A Pure Michigan themed basket at work. They do like these charity raffle sort of things. They have several baskets and you can put tickets in for them. We have to buy the tickets and the money for the tickets goes to charity. Money's whatever. So this, he won. It only took like 7.5 years. 7, 5.5, 6, I don't know. But he won. And this is the cup. It's Michigan. I love it. He doesn't use mugs, so he's like, yep, here you go. Like, okay, yay. My last finished object. When I was getting ready for this, I was like, these are the only finished objects I have since December. It was weird. And then it's like, I read all the time, like hours and hours a day. So I guess it makes sense. I don't have as many finished objects as I thought I would. So this is another cowl. It is the Spill the Tea mini skein set from Spun Right Round, I think. Yeah, Spun Right Round. And I wanted to do something with it that would just like simple and just shows off the yarn. So this isn't a pattern. I just kind of made it up. So I cast on however many stitches and then did 8 rows of 2x2 ribbing and then just knit. And I thought I was gonna knit like the entire thing, but I was looking at it and I was like, this is kind of boring. I'll just add a purl row every few sections. It's not the greatest, and there's more knit rows at the top than there are at the bottom after the purl bump. Oh wait, no there's not. I did a purl row right before the ribbing. Okay, yeah, whatever. So what I did, because it was fingering weight mini skein set, I held it double and faded it. So this is color A, color AB, color B, color BC, color C, etc. I kind of like how it looks. It's a little tight on my neck. Just a little bit, but it'll work really well in winter, I think. Yeah. So my finished objects. So I guess I could do FOs. No. Oh my gosh. I already did FOs, guys. Works in progress. And frogged things. Alright, what do I want to talk about first? I don't know. I guess I'll do a shawl. Talk about my socks last. So this is the Barrett Wool Co. in the wild plum color. I got 2 skeins of this, and I was going to do a hometown shawl using this, but I started it and the yarn is too dark. It was not showing up. The pattern or the texture of the shawl wasn't showing up how I wanted it to. So I was looking at the other patterns I wanted to do, and I found the Stormy Sky Shawl that's been in my queue. I think it'll look fine with that. Let's see. It's a free pattern. Is it gonna? It doesn't look like it. Yeah, it's a free. I don't know what to say about it. So when I first looked at this shawl, I thought it was gonna be huge, like 2 skeins of yarn, and I looked at it again and I realized that the yarn where they used 2 skeins, they were 50-gram skeins. So I might either use 2 skeins and it's just gonna be ginormous, or yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna knit until it's the size I want it, I guess. It's the stitch pattern. So, and remember, I don't remember if it was the last podcast or a couple podcasts ago, or a year, I don't know. I talked about finding bugs in my yarn, and some of them were eating through the yarn, and I put everything in plastic bags, which apparently you're not supposed to do, but you gotta do what you gotta do. And one of the bags had a hole in it, and somehow the bugs found that one bag of yarn that had a hole in it and went in and ate my yarn again. So there's this and this. So, yep, there's an itty bitty one too. So I think this one is fine, but we'll see when I wind it up. So, and I don't have the size needle that the pattern calls for, so I'm using a size smaller. So I think it calls for a 9 and I have a 10. I was like, oh, I'll try the 10, and it was like way too loose, and so I'm using an 8. Let's see if I can unwind this. It's pretty. I feel like the color is more purple in real life. It's not quite so red. I'm not super far. It'll be cozy. And it has tassels too. I've never done a shawl with tassels, so that'll be interesting. Yep. That's that one. I don't know where it went. There it is. I have needle stoppers. I never really used needle stoppers. I had them, but I was like, why would you use needle stoppers? And then I think when I was doing my Advent knitting, there's a lot of lace. It was all compacted, and like, I want to put needle stoppers on these, and now, unless they're socks, I have needle stoppers on all of my projects, which admittedly isn't much. Mini, whatever. I think actual whips I have 3. Unless you count blankets, and then it's 4. This is in my Elderflower Stitches bag. So speaking of blankets, which one is it? This one. Okay. I've gotten a little bit of work done on my granny stripe scrappy blanket. Let's see. Look at that. This is the first row. So right now am I going the wrong way? Nope. Right there. I was just doing random scraps. I had a random, like I make magic cakes. Yes. So I was just doing random colors, and I made a magic cake of my 2019 Advent calendar. I think it was by Sweet Tea Yarns. I didn't do it in the order that the calendar came in. I separated it by color, sort of. So it starts here, right here. So I did like the pinky purples and pinks and oranges and yellows, and now I'm into the blues. So there's that. How many more colors do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, maybe 10? 10 or so colors. And when that one's done, I made a magic cake of my Elderflower Stitches as well. I don't know though how I'm gonna feel about it, putting it where it is. I might not. I might do some other yarns first, because it's all gonna be like this giant section of very light pastel-y colors, and I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know. I have noticed, I don't know if I mentioned it the last time I showed this. Right here, let's see. Oh man, this isn't going well. Yeah. So right where that orange and rainbowy bit is, for some reason when I turned, I didn't turn correctly, so now the whole blanket is like a couple stitches smaller than when it started. I don't think I did it on this side. Did I? I don't know, maybe a little bit. Yeah, I did right here too. But I'm planning on, when I get it to the length I want it, I'm planning to crochet a border around the whole thing, probably in gray, so I don't think it will be noticeable. Yeah. And I have another magic cake in here from the Spun Right Round Advent. Not Advent, oh my goodness. Mini skein set. Apparently it was coming apart. There we go. Yeah. That'll be fun. Maybe I'll do this one next. Who knows? We'll see. Slowly but surely, that's coming along. Okay, now for my socks. I have 2 socks on the go, although I don't know if you can really say one of them's on the go because I just have to close the toe and weave in my ends. The second one. So here it is. Sorry it's not on the sock blocker, I totally forgot. You may recognize this yarn. It is my remaining yarn from the washed out shawl. So this is all Dreamweaver, and then towards the toe I faded in a little bit of the Aurora Borealis because I knew I wasn't gonna have enough Dreamweaver to finish both socks completely. It's so pretty. This is my favorite pair of socks that I've knit so far. Like, I love it. They fit really well. Yeah. So most sock patterns are a 4-stitch repeat, sort of. Not like multiples of 4. And I knit my socks at 68 stitches, and wait, is that right? Okay, that's, I don't know. Yeah, so what I do is, oh, I remember. Okay, so I like knitting a pattern on the front and then just stacking it on the back. But since so that would be 34 stitches, right, front and back. But most patterns are multiples of 4, and 4 does not go into 34. So what I did is I slipped, you can see it, I slipped the first stitch and then did the 8 repeats and slipped the last stitch and then just knit on the back. And these are Hermione's Everyday Socks. This is the 3rd sock attempt I tried to do with this yarn. I was trying to get it perfect, right? So the first one I did was the Scatterbee socks, which are super adorable, right? But I got about 5 inches in. Well, first of all, it was a 3x1 rib, which I didn't really like the look of. And then I got 5 inches in, and I was like, this looks weird. And the front of the sock was shorter than the back of the sock. Just because, like, that's how it is. Like, because the front is tighter. I don't know why, but that's what it did. So I was like, well, I don't like this. So I ripped it all out and started over. And I did the show-off stranded socks. And I did not like the look of it. No, I liked the look of it. I hated knitting it. So I got maybe an inch in and I was like, nope. So I was like, I guess I'll try Hermione's Everyday Socks. And I love them so much. The contrasting heels, toes, and cuffs is the eggplant colorway of Knit Picks Stroll sock yarn. And it just goes so perfectly. Just look at the socks. They're so beautiful. Yay! So I was at the point a few days ago, and had been for a while, where I needed to start figuring out when I needed to start fading in the Aurora Borealis for this sock, and I just did not have the brain space. It wasn't there. So I cast in another pair of socks, which I'll show in a second. Also, random. I thought I did 16 repeats on the foot of the sock, and then I got to 14, I think, because all over the place, guys. All over the freaking place. The last 2 repeats, so the last 8 rows of the instep is when I started fading in Aurora Borealis. And I got to 14 repeats. And it was not the same size as the finished pair. So then I had to go back and count them. It's like, I did 18 repeats. Will I have enough yarn? Because my Dreamweaver is like down to maybe like 4 grams. But I ended up having enough yarn. I can show you. Oh yeah, that's both. This is the Dreamweaver I have left. And this is the Aurora Borealis that I have left. So a lot of this, hardly any of this. And this is the eggplant I have left. This is, oh dear. I'm blanking. I don't remember the name of the shawl. On the Spice Market. I used this in that. So that was, I don't know, like 4 or 5 years ago, maybe? 4? Oh, probably 5. Yeah. And I chose this because it had, well, it went really well with my colors. And it had more than 20 grams. Because there was, in my Christmas socks, I did contrasting heels, toes, and cuffs, yeah? And I ran out of the contrast colorway. I was like, what the heck? Thankfully, I had ordered 2 skeins to do a pair of socks for Tory, so he was like, you can use some of mine. So it worked out. It was fine. So I wanted to measure and see exactly how much yarn I used for contrasting heels, toes, and cuffs. And I thought I wrote it down. Maybe not. Let's see. I guess I didn't. Shoot. Well, I started, I can tell you the start and I started 26.75 grams of eggplant, and after contrasting heels, toes, and cuffs, I had 7.44 grams left. So, like 19 point some grams is what I use. So, in the future, I'm gonna have to measure the contrasting color very carefully before I start a pair of socks, in case, because sometimes, like, minis often are like go a little less or a little more. So if there's a little less, I'm gonna be like, oh, okay, I'll have to take off a couple rows of ribbing or something. Yeah, so that's that sock. Super excited. It's so pretty. So I cast on Saturday. There was a notification on there and I missed it. I don't know what it said. Because I'm on my phone, so I don't know how long it'll record or how much space I have. Hold on. I don't know, it's not. I don't know. No, there's a circle on my face. What was I saying? I cast it on Saturday. We went to my father-in-law's house, and he lives a couple of hours away, so that we could, so we went to swim in his pool and just hang out. We were going to last weekend, but Remy got COVID. Okay, this is like totally, there we go. So we couldn't. Remy's fine. Yeah, so I started it Saturday, and this is where I am. Today is Monday. Monday the 21st of June. So this is Desert Vista Dyeworks and her Somebody Build a Snowman. Colorway. I love it. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. The colors are a little lighter than what they're showing up. They're showing up darker here, but they're not quite that dark. So 68 stitches, 20 rows, 2x2 rib. I knit till about 6.5 inches, 17 repeats of a slip stitch heel. Oh shoot, I forgot. Here's something else about my other socks. So now I'm just knitting. I tried something different with these. Instead of, because usually I'll just slip knit, slip knit, slip knit at the beginning of the round. This time I turned and purled a row, or purled, and then started the heel flap. I like it, however, it's kind of thick. The first few stitches right there where I added the new yarn. Because what I do is like I put it on and then like the next 2 or 3 stitches I knit both strands so it's tight. So I don't know if anybody knows a way to fix that, let me know. What else was I gonna say? Oh yeah, and the reason I did that is because I didn't want to cut my main color yarn, and I didn't end up, I dropped a stitch. So I didn't have to do that. However, where I started picking up stitches on the heel flap, I don't know if you can see that, it's kind of loose right there. Like, I'm sure it won't matter, and with the second sock I'll make sure to pull it really tight. And since like there's no ends there to like weave in sort of and make it tighter, we'll see. I'm sure it won't matter. And I dropped the stitch again. Jeez. Alright, well. Okay, there we go. Okay, so the thing I forgot to tell you about these socks. The heel. Where is it? Okay. I wanted to try this because I like the look of it. It's where you knit the first 3 stitches, or you do garter. Oh, maybe it's asleep. You can't really see it because this is dark, but so it looks cool, right? But picking up the stitches on the side was such a pain. It's like, I don't want to do this again. It was so annoying. So, probably not going to do that again. Okay, so that's all my knitting. I do have some acquisitions. You want to call them that? Oh, no, frogs. Another frog. The sweater, the office sweater I was working on that I started and frogged that. Because I was like, oh, this isn't size inclusive. I have to knit this size, and it's the biggest size, and I'm not usually that size. Yeah, I got to the body of the sweater and was like, holy crap, this is gonna be way too big. So I was like, what the heck? I'm like completely engaged. Why? And it was like, because, you know. Yeah, so I ripped that out. I haven't started it again. I want to soon. So now I have this giant cake as big as my head. Like, or almost. And still I have some of the Birkin sweater to use too. So eventually I will have a sweater. Okay. So acquisitions, and then I'm done because I had to go to my sister-in-law's house real quick. Here is the full skein that came with the Elderflower Stitches Advent. It is exactly what I thought it was going to be based on the mini skeins. And I think I'm going to make a hat to go along with the shawl. So, yeah, there's that. And then Chelsea from Chelsea Makes was having a sale for, or she had a coupon code for her patrons for LegacyFiberArtz yarn. So I was like, well, I'm gonna get some yarn there. I got 2 sock sets, and Remy ripped the ball band on this one, so there's that. This is the glass ceiling set, and this is the Kirk set. It's so pretty. I'm not sure if I'm going to make socks with both of these or socks with one and a shawl with the other. I don't know yet. And I also got from them, because I've been wanting to try mohair or suri, I got this. It is their hydrangea and the cloud base. It's mohair. There is I want to make the Bennett sisters shawl, and there's a colorway that Lolo did. It makes Little Darlin', and I think it would be perfect with this. Just absolutely, it'd be gorgeous. But I don't have that yarn. It's something I have to order. And then my local yarn store had this 517 day, so because that's the area code I live in. So on May 17th, they put these sets up for sale, and it was kind of a surprise. Like, they're like, this is what's going to be in the box, but they don't show you. They had some cookies and a bunch of coupons for local businesses. Some tea made on MSU or from, I don't know. It's tea. There's a stitch marker and this yarn, which is so pretty. I love the colors. I opened it and I was like, this is perfect. This is so me. It's a single ply. So I think I can't do socks with that. I'm going to try and knit it. Probably a hat or a cowl. The couple times I've tried to knit with singles, though, I've had issues with it, so I end up crocheting it. And if that happens again, I am just going to plan on making the Chi-Town cowl. I really like that one, so. Yep. That's it. Yeah, so I hope you all have a good week. You can find me on, oh geez, excuse me, oh dear, Instagram and Ravelry as Woolly Anecdotes. Nope, that's wrong. Instagram is Woolly Anecdotes. Ravelry is Hortensia, and there's also a blog, woolyanecdotes.blogspot.com, and that's where I usually put show notes. So those will probably show up in the next day or so. Yeah. So have a good day. Bye.